I'm gonna talk about that. It was a Saturday night. I was just laying in bed. I was scrolling through TikTok a lot because I had recently downloaded TikTok and I was just very intrigued by it. I didn't even know TikTok was like a huge thing, and now I'm like obsessed with so many TikTok stars. But anyway, that's besides the point. I was scrolling through my phone. That night was a little bit different in that I didn't go to sleep at my usual time. Usually on a Saturday night, I'll go to sleep at like 2 a.m. But that night I was just up very late in my bed. 4 a.m. came around. I had my sheets over my head. I was just scrolling through my phone when I heard my doorknob turn. That's the moment when I realized I forgot to lock my door. I always lock my door. I feel like all of this was just like a series of unfortunate events. I don't know why, but I forgot to lock my door that one night. I always lock my door. I can't emphasize this enough. I always lock my door. But of course, the one day I don't lock my door, someone tries to rob my place the one day I don't lock my door. Anyway, it's totally my fault. You guys should lock your doors. My initial reaction to this was, oh, it's 4 a.m. on a Saturday night. There was a football game. It's probably some drunk dude who accidentally opened my door thinking that it was his apartment. And I thought, okay, once he enters the unit and realizes that it's not his unit, he's probably gonna leave. So I thought I would just hide under my sheets and not do anything. This guy walks in and he doesn't leave. And that's when I was like, okay, this is not going as planned. So I decided to get up from my bed. I sat up and I didn't have my glasses on or anything, so I wasn't really able to see him. So I got up and I asked this man, can I help you? And he said that he was the security guard going around doing security checks. Mind you, it was 4 a.m. at the time. He told me that he came in to tell me that I needed to lock my door. And for some reason, I 100% believed him. I'm so gullible. I didn't ask any further questions. I didn't ask for his name or anything because I just wanted him to leave. So I was like, okay, I'll lock my door. And I told him to leave, and he did. And the creepiest thing about this was that he was very hesitant to leave at first. He was just like looking around, fidgeting with the chain that I have over there. He kept like looking back while leaving, and that's sketchy. But he left, and I locked my door right after he left. I was very confused, but I wasn't scared or anything because he's gone. I'm safe now. I locked my door. So after I locked my door, I went straight back to bed and I started typing up an Instagram story about what had happened, because usually when crazy things like this happen, I like to go on Instagram and tell you guys because I'm a YouTuber and that's what YouTubers do. No, like, or maybe that is right, I don't know. So I was just typing up a story saying, oh my gosh guys, the craziest thing just happened to me, blah blah blah. Usually it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to type up one story because I like to double check and triple check and make sure that I don't have any errors in it. I was typing up my story when I hear my doorknob turn again. That moment I heard my doorknob turn a second time, it was just terrifying. I don't even know how to describe my feelings. Like, it was terrifying. Terrifying. So obviously, I stopped writing my story and I was like, okay, this is weird. And I just waited a few seconds. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just the security guard going around checking if I actually locked my door. I thought he would leave after checking that my door is locked. But no, I hear my doorknob turn again and again and again. It almost sounded like the guy who was turning the doorknob was trying to be really quiet about it, because it was just like very soft turns. It wasn't like anything aggressive. You know when you have a key that fits into the lock, but it's not the perfect match, so you're not able to twist it? That's what I was hearing. I was hearing that tick, 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 tick. sounded like he was actually in the process of opening my door, I was completely terrified. I didn't call the police or anything because, I don't know, I felt like calling the police would make the situation real, and I didn't know if it was real yet. I was still in that state where I was confused as to what was going on. I also completely blanked out on where I was. I wasn't able to recall my address. I wasn't able to think properly. A few seconds go by and the guy continues to pick my lock. So I called my friend Daniel, who lives nearby me, and I told him like, hey, can you come over right now? And he's like, what's up? Also, like, the fact that he was awake at 4:30 a.m. just amazes me, because like, why are you awake at 4:30 a.m.? But he was awake and he picked up. Basically, like, he came here within the next 2 minutes or so, and by the time he came, the person was gone. I don't know if the person left because he wasn't able to pick the lock, or if he heard my phone conversation and maybe he was scared of getting caught, so he left. Either way, he wasn't there when Daniel came. Daniel came into my unit and I told him everything that happened. So I got really hungry, so I stopped talking, but I'm a dedicated YouTuber, so I'm going to continue talking. Even after all of that, I still wanted to believe that the person was really a security guard. So Daniel and I called the emergency contact and we asked whether this person was really the security guard. The person who picked up wasn't really sure about that, so he told us that he would get back to us later in the day. He never got back to us, so thanks for that. But it's okay, it's totally fine. I wasn't able to fall asleep until 7 a.m. because I was just constantly thinking about what had happened. So the next day, the leasing office opened at like 1 p.m. So I went to the leasing office and I told them about what had happened. They told me that security guards aren't allowed to enter the building, let alone the actual unit. Definitely wasn't a security guard. They also don't go around at 4 a.m. checking whether we locked our doors. I've been living in this apartment for over a year. I didn't even know security guards existed in our apartment. That's how much they don't really care about whether we lock our doors or not. They told me to file a report with the police, so that's what I did. The police officers came by later that day and I told them what had happened, and that's basically it. My detective radar went off and I started piecing things together, so now everything makes sense. So let me tell you what I think happened. So this is my building. This is the front door, this is the back door, and that is my unit. So if someone was to come through the back door, my door would not only be the first door that they would see, it would also be protruded compared to the other doors. These are the other doors. So I'm guessing the person who came into my unit thought that my unit would be a bigger one. But as you can see, I live in a studio. My bed is right there. I guess the burglar thought that I would be sleeping in my bedroom and that I wouldn't know if he came by and stole something. So when he came in and saw that I was laying in bed, he probably didn't know what to do and he made up that excuse that he was the security guard. And now you may be asking, why would he want to come back and pick my lock? Now, the police officers and I were talking about this. Some people were saying because I saw his face, he didn't want me to snitch on him and he just wanted to like come back in and silence me. I don't know, that sounds creepy, but some people were saying that. I personally think that because he saw that I was a small girl, he probably thought that he could still get away with robbing my place. There are a lot of possibilities as to why he might have wanted to come back in, but I don't really want to think about that. Yeah. When he walked in with his shoes on, obviously, and there was dirt underneath his shoes. So when I went to lock my door, I was able to feel a lot of dirt underneath my feet. And that's a dead giveaway that he entered through the back door, because near the back door, this area is the only area that actually has dirt. By the front door, that's where all of the gravel is and the cement. So it's really unlikely for dirt to be on his shoes if he only came in through the front door. So he probably came in through the back door that was open and came to my unit. So yeah, it's like extra information that I lost sleep over. I feel like a detective. tired. I'm a little bit over this now. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? No? Okay. So, I'm just very thankful that I was awake at 4 a.m. scrolling through TikTok. If I was asleep, he could have definitely stolen something. One thing that kind of annoys me about my apartment is that whatever happens to me, I feel like they always try to make it seem like it was my fault. I mean, yes, it was my fault that I didn't lock my door, but it's your fault that you didn't fix the back door because that's how they came in. Like, the back door has been broken ever since I've moved in here. There are a lot of things about this apartment that are like sketchy. My bike got stolen last year. My friends got me a bike for my housewarming party, and it got stolen a week after I got it. I will never not be bitter about that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed